The night was quiet, calm, and almost peaceful when Aaron, a 17-year-old boy, walked home from his school. The road was empty. Only the sound of cold wind and dry leaves filled the air. Aaron liked moments like this when the world felt slow and silent. He had no idea that tonight his life would change forever. As he walked past the old forest road, something strange happened. A bright flash cut through the sky like a burning line of fire. Aaron stopped and looked up. At first, he thought it was a falling star, but this light was too big, too loud, too close. Within seconds, the flash turned into a huge blue ball of energy, racing downward. It crashed somewhere inside the forest with a powerful roar. Birds exploded out of the trees, and a shockwave of dust rushed across the road. Aaron's heart jumped. What was that? He whispered. His curiosity was stronger than his fear. He stepped off the road and slowly entered the forest. The air inside was hot, as if something had burned the space around him. He followed the glowing trail on the ground, small sparks of blue light that pulsed like living fire. As he walked deeper, he heard something. A soft sound. A cry. It didn't sound human. Aaron moved quietly, pushing branches aside. The forest opened into a small clearing where he finally saw her, a girl. But not like any girl from Earth. She was sitting on the ground, breathing hard, holding her arm. Her eyes glowed bright blue. Her skin shimmered with a soft silver glow, and strange light symbols moved slowly across her hands, like tattoos made of energy. Her hair floated gently in the air. Even though there was no wind, Aaron froze. His mind told him to run, but something in the girl's face, fear, pain, loneliness, kept him standing there. Before he could speak, the girl lifted her head and looked straight at him. Her eyes widened, and then she did something he never expected. She sprang to her feet, ran toward him with all her strength, and hid behind him, her hands clutching the back of his shirt. Aaron's breath caught. He didn't know who she was, why she came to him, or what she wanted, but her entire body was shaking. She was terrified. Behind them, in the darkness of the trees, something moved. The sound was heavy, slow, metallic. The girl whispered in a trembling voice, "Please, hide me." Aaron's heart started beating fast. He didn't turn around yet. "What's out there?" he asked quietly. Her voice cracked as she answered, "They found me." There was no time to ask anything more. A deep, thunder-like growl echoed through the forest, followed by a sharp, mechanical screech. Aaron felt the ground vibrate under his feet. He could see red lights flashing between the trees, moving, scanning, searching. He slowly turned his head, and that's when he saw them. Tall, dark shapes walking through the forest, their bodies made of metal and strange armor. Their heads were smooth helmets with glowing red eyes. Their footsteps were heavy, leaving small craters in the soil. They looked like hunters, but not human hunters. Aaron's breath turned cold. "What are those things?" he whispered. The girl pressed closer behind him, her voice shaking with fear. "They are called Void Reapers. They destroyed everything. They want me." Aaron didn't understand the whole meaning, but he understood one thing. These creatures were dangerous, extremely dangerous. One of them stopped. Its red scanner beam swept the clearing like a laser searching for prey. The beam passed over trees, rocks, and finally reached the spot where Aaron stood. He held his breath. The girl held him tightly, almost hiding her glowing face in his back. The beam paused. Aaron's heart pounded in his ears. Then the beam moved away, but the creatures kept coming closer. Aaron knew he could not stay there. He didn't know who the girl was. He didn't know why she ran to him. He didn't know what the hunters wanted. But he did know this. If he left her here, she would die. He grabbed her gently by the hand. "Come with me," he whispered. The girl looked surprised for a moment. Maybe she had never been protected before. But she nodded quickly. Together they moved through the forest, Aaron pulling her behind him. The hunters heard the noise and turned sharply. Their red lights flashed brighter. They had found the trail. The girl stumbled, weak and scared, but Aaron kept her moving. Branches hit his arms, mud splashed his shoes, but he didn't stop. The girl's breath was fast and uneven. Aaron realized she was injured. The glowing symbols on her arm flickered like dying light. Just a little further, he whispered. The forest opened onto an old warehouse near the edge of town, abandoned for years, but still standing. Aaron pulled the door open, guided the girl inside, and shut it quietly. They both leaned against the wall, breathing hard. Outside, the hunters scanned the area. Their lights passed over the broken windows. They were close. Too close. Aaron looked at the girl. She looked exhausted, scared, and alone. Her glowing eyes softened for a moment. "My name," she whispered softly, "is Alira." Aaron nodded. "I'm Aaron. Don't worry. I won't let them take you." Alira looked at him with surprise, as if she couldn't believe someone would say that outside. The Reaper's footsteps grew louder. The danger was far from over, but something had already changed. A human boy had chosen to protect an alien girl he had never met, and this choice would change the fate of two worlds. The warehouse was dark and silent. Dust floated in the air like tiny stars, moving slowly in the moonlight that came through broken windows. Aaron and Alira stood inside, trying to calm their breathing. Outside, heavy footsteps echoed across the empty ground. Aaron slowly walked to a narrow crack in the wall and peeked. Outside, he wished he hadn't. 3 tall shapes stood in the open field. Their bodies were made of dark metal, sharp and cold. Their long legs ended in heavy claws that dug into the soil. Their faces were smooth metal plates with a single glowing red eye at the center. The red eye moved left and right, scanning everything. They looked less like living creatures and more like machines built for only one purpose: hunting. Alira stood behind Aaron, hugging her injured arm close to her chest. The glowing symbols on her skin flickered with weak light. Her breath trembled. Aaron turned to her quietly. "Are you okay?" He whispered. She nodded, but her eyes told the truth. She was barely standing. Aaron looked again through the cracked dot. One of the hunters raised its arm. A long, thin device unfolded from it, glowing with red energy. It pointed toward the warehouse. On RIN single quotes S. Heartbeat quickened. "Are they scanning for you?" he whispered. Alira didn't speak. She only lowered her head slowly. Then she whispered, "They will not stop. Not until they have me." Her words felt heavy, like cold metal falling inside Aaron's chest. He didn't know who she really was. He didn't know why these creatures wanted her. He didn't know what danger she carried with her. But he knew one thing. If he stayed here, they would both be found. A sudden crack of energy burst outside. The warehouse wall shook. Dust fell from the ceiling. Alira jumped in fear. Aaron stepped close to her. "Don't panic. Just stay behind me." Even he didn't know why he felt so protective of her. Maybe it was the way she looked at him earlier, with fear, but also trust. As if she believed he could protect her, even when he wasn't sure himself. Outside, the hunters split into 3 different directions. Their metallic footsteps echoed across the open ground. They were searching carefully, slowly, patiently, RIN. Looked around the warehouse. Broken shelves, rusted tools, a half-collapsed staircase. No real place to hide. "We need to move," Aaron whispered. "They will search this building." Alira swallowed hard. "I cannot run far. My energy is falling." Aaron hesitated. "Your energy?" Alira looked at her glowing arm. "These symbols, they protect me. But when I am hurt, they flicker. And when they flicker, they attract the hunters." Aaron's eyes widened. "So, you're like a beacon to them?" Alira nodded slowly, sadness filling her eyes. "My people called them Void Reapers." They come from dark space where no stars live. They travel across galaxies, consuming anything that shines with life. Aaron felt a cold shiver run down his spine. So they destroyed your planet? Alira closed her eyes. Yes, and now they want me. Why? Aaron asked softly. Alira opened her eyes slowly. Because I am the last one who carries this. She touched her chest, near her heart. A crystal. A living one. It was made by my people. It can destroy the Void Reapers forever, Aaron blinked. And they want to. Stop you from using it? She nodded. If they take me, they will remove the crystal. And then, nothing will remain to stop them. For a moment, Aaron was speechless. He had only been walking home from school. He had only followed a strange light in the sky. He had only met a scared girl. And now he was standing between her and creatures who destroyed planets. Before Aaron could say anything more, the sound of metal echoed inside the warehouse. Clang, clang. A shadow appeared at the main door. One of the Void Reapers was entering. Alira grabbed Aaron's arm, fear shaking from her fingers. Aaron looked around rapidly. There was only one place left, the broken staircase that led to the second floor. The stairs were unsafe, but he had no choice. Follow me, he whispered. He helped Alira climb the stairs slowly. The wood cracked under their weight. Below them, the Void Reaper entered the warehouse fully. Its red eye glowed brighter as it scanned the room. Aaron and Alira reached the second floor and hid behind an old metal cabinet. Aaron held his breath. Alira pressed closer to him, trying to quiet her shaky breathing. The Void Reaper's metal body walked across the floor below. Each footstep echoed like thunder. It scanned the walls, the ceiling, the broken furniture. Aaron's heart pounded. So loudly he wondered if the machine could hear it. Alira whispered softly, If they find us, run. Aaron shook his head. I'm not leaving you. Alira looked at him with wide eyes, surprised again by his bravery. Then something terrible happened. The metal floor under Alira's foot creaked loudly. The Void Reaper stopped. Its red eye turned sharply. It aimed straight at the stairs. Aaron whispered harshly, They know we're here. We need to go, now. Alira nodded, gripping his hand tightly. Together they rushed toward the broken window at the far end of the room. Behind them, the Void Reaper climbed the stairs, each step shaking the building. Aaron reached the window, pushed it open, and looked down. A steep drop. Not safe. But safer than staying. Alira, hold on to me. She wrapped her arms around him. Without thinking twice, Aaron jumped. They fell into the tall grass outside just as the Void Reaper reached the second floor. Aaron rolled, pulling Alira close, protecting her from the fall. Behind them, the Reaper leaned out the window, scanning the field with angry red light. Aaron grabbed Alira's hand and whispered urgently, Run, don't stop. The hunt had truly begun. Aaron and Alira ran through the tall grass, their feet slipping in the soft soil. Behind them, the shrill robotic call of the Void Reaper echoed through the night like a warning horn. Red lights scanned the field, sweeping left and right like angry search beams. Aaron didn't look back this time. He only tightened his grip on Alira's hand and kept running toward the old water canal ahead. The moon reflected on the water's surface, creating a silver path. Alira stumbled once, and Aaron caught her before she fell. You're hurt, he said, breathing hard. Alira shook her head weakly. No, I just need to rest. But her glowing arm told a different story. The symbols on her skin flickered like dying stars, not steady, not bright, almost breaking apart. Each flicker seemed to send a shock of pain through her body. Aaron guided her under the bridge of the canal, a dark place hidden from the sky. They crouched inside the shadow, listening to the distant footsteps of the hunters. Only when silence returned did Aaron finally exhale. Alira leaned against the wall, her eyes half closed. Aaron sat beside her. Alira, What is happening to you? She opened her eyes slowly. For a moment, she looked afraid to answer, not afraid of the hunters, but afraid of what Aaron might think. My power is fading, she whispered. When I escaped, I used too much. The symbols keep me alive. When they weaken, so do I. Aaron felt a sharp ache in his chest. Can anything help you? Alira looked up at the sky. Hope, she said softly. Hope restores the symbols. But hope is hard to hold when your world is gone. Aaron didn't understand everything, but he understood sadness when he saw it. Alira's voice carried an emptiness he had never heard before. After a long silence, Aaron asked gently, Alira, can you tell me who you really are? Alira looked down at her hands. The marks on her skin glowed faintly. My people called. Emi Alira of the last light. I was born with a rare crystal inside my heart. A living crystal created from the energy of my home star. Aaron blinked. Inside your heart? A real crystal? She nodded. It is called the Lumen Core. It was made to protect my planet. The core chooses only one living being to stay with. It chose me. Aaron looked at her differently, now not just an alien girl, but someone carrying something powerful and heavy. Alira continued, her voice softer. The Void Reapers come from a place with no stars, no life, only darkness. They feed on living energy. When they discovered the Lumen Core existed, they came for it. Aaron listened closely. He could feel the pain in her words. They attacked your planet? He asked quietly. Alira closed her eyes, and for a moment, she looked like she might cry, but tears didn't fall. They only shimmered inside her glowing eyes. They destroyed everything, she whispered. My home, my people, my family, all gone. I escaped because my parents used their last strength to send me away. Aaron swallowed hard. He wanted to comfort her, but he didn't know how. I have no world now, Alira said, her voice shaking. No place to belong. The hunters chase me across galaxies. They want the core. Without it, they will be unstoppable. Aaron finally spoke, gently but firmly. You are safe with me. Alira looked at him, confused. How can you protect me? She asked softly. Your world doesn't even know creatures like me exist. Aaron didn't have a perfect answer. He just knew he couldn't walk away. I don't have powers, he admitted. I'm not strong or special. But I have something they don't, Alira blinked. What? A choice, Aaron said. And I choose to protect you. Alira stared at him, stunned, as if no one had ever said something like that to her. For the first time, the glow in her eyes softened not from fear, but from something gentle. Why would you help someone like me? She whispered. Rin smiled. Because you ran to me. Even when you were scared, you trusted me. Silence sat between them, warm this time, but peace didn't last long. A sudden burst of red light flashed across the canal's entrance. Alira flinched. Aaron pulled her deeper into the shadows. One of the Void Reapers stood above the canal, its red eye scanning the water. The beam passed dangerously close to their hiding place. Aaron held Alira's shoulder gently, as if telling her without words, stay calm. The beam moved away. Slowly. The Reaper walked on. Alira breathed out shakily. They are getting closer. They can sense the core even from far away, Aaron nodded. Then we need someone smarter than them. A small smile touched Alira's lips. Who is smarter than a Void Reaper? Aaron stood and offered his hand to her. My friend Darren. He knows technology better than anyone in town. If anyone can help us hide your energy, it's him. Alira hesitated. Would your friend accept me? Aaron gave her a gentle, confident smile. He will, because he trusts me. Just like you did. Alira took his hand. In that moment, her symbols glowed a little brighter. Hope, small but alive, was slowly returning. Then let's go, she whispered. Together, They stepped out from under the bridge and moved quietly. Through the darkness, the hunters were still searching. The danger was still growing, but for the first time since she landed on Earth, Alira didn't feel alone. Aaron and Alira moved through the quiet backstreets of town, keeping to the shadows. Streetlights flickered softly above them, casting long lines of gold on the empty road. The town was asleep, unaware that something from another world hunted just outside its borders. Alira held Aaron's arm to steady herself. Her steps were slow now. The symbols on her skin dimmed even more, like a lamp losing power. "Are you sure your friend can help?" she asked softly. Aaron nodded. "Darren is the smartest person I know. If anyone can hide your energy from those hunters, it's him." Alira tried to smile, but worry filled her eyes. What if the hunters find this town? Aaron looked forward with a firm expression. "Then we stop them before they reach it." Alira didn't fully understand human bravery yet, but something inside her warmed. On her planet, courage was rare. Here, it lived inside a boy with no powers and no reason to help her, except kindness. After a few minutes, they reached a small house behind the science lab building. The lights were still on inside. Aaron knocked 3 times, their secret signal. The door opened slightly. A boy with messy hair and glasses peeked out. "Aaron?" "It's almost midnight." "What?" His eyes landed on Alira, who glowed faintly in the dark. He froze. "Aaron, why is there a glowing girl in my yard?" Aaron stepped forward. "Darren, we need your help, please. No jokes, no questions. We're in danger." Darren blinked, then opened the door wider. "Okay, come inside." They entered his cluttered workspace. Wires, tools, old computers, and broken gadgets filled the room. Darren closed the curtains quickly. Alira stood quietly near the table, unsure how humans reacted to aliens. She kept her glowing arm hidden. Darren stared at her amazed. "Are you from space?" Alira answered softly. "Yes, I am Alira. I mean no harm." Darren pointed at her skin. "Your arm, those symbols. Are they some kind of technology?" Alira nodded. "They keep me alive, but they also make it easy for the hunters to find me." Darren's face changed instantly, from curiosity to seriousness. "Hunters? What kind of hunters?" Aaron stepped in. "They're called Void Reapers. Tall, metallic, deadly. They're searching the forest right now. And they'll come to town soon if we don't block their scanners." Darren swallowed hard. "Aaron, these things tracked her across space. How am I supposed to stop something like that?" Aaron placed a hand on his friend's shoulder. "You don't need to fight them. You just need to hide her signal." Darren looked at Alira again, the dimming symbols, the weak glow, the fear in her eyes. He took a deep breath. "Okay, I'll try." Alira stepped forward, surprised. "You would help me? Without knowing me?" Darren glanced at Aaron and smirked. "If Aaron risks his life for you, that's enough for me." Alira lowered her head respectfully. Darren turned to his tools. "All right. If the hunters track energy, then we mask it." He pulled out wires, small metal plates, a battery pack, and a glowing blue device he built last year for a science fair. "It never worked, until now. I'll make a signal jammer," he explained. "Something that covers your energy with noise. It won't last forever, but it might confuse them long enough." Alira watched him work, her eyes softening. "You humans, you help each other so easily," Aaron smiled. "That's what humans do, or at least what we should do." Time passed quickly. Darren connected wires, adjusted voltage, and tested circuits. Sparks flew, and the room filled with a soft electronic hum. Suddenly, a loud explosion shook the streets outside. Aaron rushed to the window. A red beam of light tore across the sky. A Void Reaper had reached the town. Alira grabbed Aaron's arm. "They are close. They can sense the core again." Darren worked faster, sweat on his forehead. Just a few seconds. Just a few, yes. He held up the device, a small circular band with blinking lights. Alira, put your arm through it. She slipped her glowing arm into the band. The symbols on her skin shimmered, flickered, then steadied. The glow dimmed to almost nothing. Alira gasped. They cannot sense me anymore. Aaron looked at Darren with relief. You did it. Darren smiled proudly. I'm a genius. We all knew this. But the celebration didn't last out. Another explosion shook the street, closer this time. A robotic roar echoed through the neighborhood. Alira's eyes widened. They are searching each house. Humans are in danger because of me. Aaron stepped closer to her. You didn't bring danger. They did, and we're going to stop them. Alira trembled. How? They destroyed my planet. Aaron looked at her with steady determination. Then maybe Earth needs to be the first place that fights back. Darren held up a glowing EMP device he had been building for months. Good timing, he said. We might be small, but humans always punch above their weight. Alira looked at the two human boys, one brave, one brilliant, and felt something she had not felt since her world ended. Hope. But outside, the hunter's footsteps grew louder. The battle was coming, and this time, humans were ready. The street outside Darren's house glowed red from the Void Reaper's scanning beams. Every wall, every window, every rooftop carried a cold shimmer of danger. The town, once peaceful and quiet, now felt like a battlefield waiting to explode. Inside the small room, Alira stood near the door, trembling as she listened to the metallic footsteps growing closer. Her glowing symbols were faint, almost gone, but the signal jammer on her arm kept them from shining too brightly. Aaron stepped in front of her, blocking the view from the window. You're safe, he whispered. Alira shook her head. No. Not safe. Not while they are here. Darren grabbed tools and stuffed them into his backpack. We need to move before they scan this house. If they find us here, they'll destroy everything. A loud crack split the air. A house at the end of the street exploded in a bright red blast. Glass shattered across the road. Alira flinched. They're searching, she whispered. Looking for me. Aaron's jaw tightened. Then we have to get farther away. Somewhere they won't expect. Darren nodded. The underground tunnels near the train station. No signals pass through there. It's our best chance. Alira took a shaky breath and looked at both boys. You are risking your lives for me, she said softly. I don't understand why. Aaron placed a hand on her shoulder. You're not alone anymore, Alira. But instead of comfort, his words made her look even sadder. There is something I have not told you, she whispered. Something important and painful. Aaron frowned slightly. What is it? Alira's eyes glowed faintly in the dim light. I did not only escape my planet, she said. I was sent away because the lumen core inside my heart is dying. Aaron stiffened. Dying? What do you mean? Alira looked down at her hands. The core is not like a jewel. It is a living light. It needs energy to stay alive. My people used their last power to protect me, but the core absorbed too much. It is unstable now. Darren blinked, shocked. Unstable? Like dangerous unstable? Alira nodded. If the core breaks, it will release all its energy at once. It would burn through everything around me. Aaron felt the air leave his lungs. You mean you could explode? Alira didn't answer. But the silence was enough. She continued in a broken voice. The Void Reapers want the core because if it breaks inside their machines, they cannot stop the light. It destroys their darkness. Aaron understood instantly. So they want to take it from you before it breaks. Yes, Alira whispered. But even if they take it, I will not survive. Removing the core will kill me. Aaron stepped back, the weight of her words crashing over him. She wasn't just being hunted, she was dying, slowly, silently, painfully, and she had known it all along. Why didn't you tell us? Aaron asked, his voice low. Alira's eyes shimmered with sadness. Because I didn't want you to feel this pain, she whispered. Your world is peaceful. Your hearts are kind. I didn't want to bring sorrow to a place that still has hope. Aaron's chest tightened painfully. Alira, don't say that. We can still help you. Alira shook her head. No one can save me. The core is already fading. When the last symbol on my arm dies, the light will end. And so will I. Aaron looked at her glowing symbols. They were dim like dying stars, barely alive. Darren swallowed. Hard. So how much time do you have? Alira hesitated. Maybe hours, maybe minutes. A silence filled the room, heavy, dark, heartbreaking. Aaron stepped closer and gently took Alira's hand. We're not giving up on you, he said. Firmly, we will find a way. Alira looked at him, a small tear shining in her blue eyes. I ran to you when I landed. Because I felt your heart, she whispered. It was warm, strong. I trusted it, even when I didn't know your name. Aaron squeezed her hand. And you're not running alone anymore. Suddenly, a thunderous crash hit the front door. Void Reaper's arm punched through the wood, tearing it apart. Darren shouted, They're here! Alira gasped, stepping back. Red beams filled the room. The house shook violently. Rin grabbed Alira's arm. Darren, the back window, now! They rushed toward the small window near the kitchen. Darren smashed the glass with a metal tool. Aaron helped Alira climb out first. The Void Reaper burst into the room behind them, its red eye burning with deadly light. Alira looked back one last time, fear mixing with sorrow. Aaron jumped out after her. Darren followed, landing beside them. The Reaper tore the window frame apart, but Aaron pushed Alira ahead. Run! Follow the alley! As they sprinted toward the train station, Alira whispered through her tears, I didn't want you to know. Because the truth always hurts. Aaron looked at her, breathless, determined. Then we'll make a new truth, one where you live. But behind them, the hunters' roars grew louder. The real battle was only beginning, the underground tunnels. Beneath the train station were cold, silent, and almost endless. Water dripped from the ceiling, echoing like slow clock ticks. Aaron led Alira through the narrow passage, holding her hand tightly. Darren followed behind, checking every shadow. Alira's symbols were barely glowing now, soft, fading lights on her skin. How much time do we have? Aaron asked quietly. Alira lowered her head. Not much. The core is breaking. The hunters know that too. Aaron squeezed her hand, refusing to accept it. We'll stop them. You'll live, Alira. But Alira didn't answer. Not because she didn't want to, but because she didn't want to give him false hope. Darren stopped suddenly. I hear something. A low mechanical hum filled the tunnel. Then another. Then more. Alira's eyes widened in fear. They found us. From the far end of the tunnel, red lights appeared, 3 Void Reapers marching slowly toward them, the ground shaking under their heavy steps. Their red eyes glowed brighter than before. Aaron pulled Alira closer. We need to run. But Alira didn't move. Instead, she stepped forward. Alira? Aaron whispered. She looked at him with gentle sadness. This is my fault. You two should not suffer because of me. Darren shouted. No. Don't even think about sacrificing yourself. Alira smiled weakly. I already knew this moment would come. The core inside me has only one purpose, to destroy darkness. But it needs one more thing to awaken. Aaron frowned. What? Alira looked at him, tears gathering in her glowing eyes, a willing heart. Aaron froze. What does that mean? She stepped closer to him and placed her hand on his chest. It means someone must stand with me. Someone whose emotions can bond with the core. someone who chooses hope. Even in death. Aaron shook his head instantly. No, no way. I'm not letting you die, and I'm not letting them take you. Darren grabbed Aaron's shoulder. Aaron, we need a real plan. If the core explodes wrong, it will destroy the whole town. Alira looked down at the dim symbols on her arm. That's why I wanted to leave alone. The core was made to fight darkness, but only when guided by a human heart. She looked at Aaron, and the core chose you. Aaron felt the world freeze. Why me? He whispered. Alira stepped closer, her forehead nearly touching his. Because when I fell from the sky, you didn't run. You stood between me and death. And hearts like yours are rare in the universe. Aaron's chest tightened painfully. Alira, I didn't protect you for the core. I did it because I care about you. Alira smiled sadly. And that is exactly why the core chose you. The Void Reapers moved closer, their metal feet slamming into the ground. Sparks flew as their claws. Scrape the tunnel walls. Darren shouted urgently. We have less than a minute before they reach us. What do we do? Alira took Aaron's hands gently. The core will awaken if you touch my heart. But when it activates, I will become pure light. My body will not survive. Aaron shook his head violently. No, I won't lose you. A tear rolled down Alira's cheek, glowing like a tiny star. I know, she whispered. But if I don't do this, Earth will end like my world. Aaron felt tears in his eyes. There has to be another way. Alira shook her head. There isn't. The Reapers let out a deafening mechanical roar. Their red beams shot across the tunnel, melting the walls. Darren jumped back. Aaron, we're out of time. Alira placed Aaron's hand over her heart. Her chest glowed softly under his warm and trembling. Aaron whispered, I'm not ready to say goodbye. Alira slowly leaned her forehead against his. Then don't say goodbye, she whispered. Just stand with me. The Void Reapers raised their weapons, aiming directly at them. Alira closed her eyes. Her last words were soft, fragile, full of love. Aaron, thank you for giving me a place to belong. Even for a moment. The core inside her chest burst into bright golden light. Aaron held her hand tightly. The light spread around them, swirling like a living star. Golden beams shot outward, filling the tunnel with heat and brilliance. The Void Reapers fired, but their beams melted in the light before reaching Alira. Darren shielded his face, shouting, What's happening? Alira's body lifted slightly off the ground. The core's light fused with Aaron's heartbeat. The tunnel shook like an earthquake. The Reapers stepped back, their armor cracking. Aaron felt his chest burn, but he did not let go. Alira whispered, Don't be afraid. The core exploded outward like a sun being born. A massive wave of golden light filled the tunnel, and everything went silent. The Void Reapers were gone, reduced to dust. The darkness they brought vanished, and in the center of the tunnel, Aaron fell to his knees, holding empty air where Alira had stood. She was gone. Her body had turned into pure light. Her last breath had saved the world. Small crystal glowing faintly floated down into Aaron's hands. He stared at it with shaking fingers. Alira. His tears fell onto the crystal dot, and then the crystal glowed. A warm, soft voice whispered inside his mind, I'm still here. Alira's spirit had survived, but her body was gone forever. The golden light faded slowly, like a sunrise disappearing backward into darkness. Dust floated in the air where the Void Reapers once stood. The tunnel walls were cracked, glowing softly from Alira's final burst of power. And in the center of it all, Aaron knelt on the cold ground, gasping for breath. His hands trembled as he held the small crystal glowing faintly with soft silver blue light. The same light he once saw shining in Alira's eyes. Darren slowly stepped closer, his shoes scraping the floor. Aaron. Is she? Aaron didn't answer. He couldn't. He kept staring at the crystal in his palms, the only thing left of her. His chest hurt, his eyes stung. His heart felt crushed under a pain so sharp he couldn't even breathe. She saved us. Darren whispered. She saved the whole world. Aaron closed his fingers gently around the crystal. No, he whispered. Voice cracking. She didn't save the world. She saved me. For a moment, only silence filled the tunnel. Then a soft warmth spread through Aaron's hand. The crystal pulsed, gently. Like a heartbeat. Aaron's eyes widened. Lyra, he whispered. A gentle voice echoed inside his mind. Soft like the wind, warm like sunlight through a window. Aaron, I'm here. He froze. The world faded away. His heartbeat quickened. Lyra? Is that really you? The crystal glowed brighter, bathing his hands in blue light. I cannot return the way I was, her voice whispered gently. My body is gone, but my light remains. Aaron bowed his head, tears falling onto the crystal. I thought I lost you, he whispered. I thought you were gone forever. Lyra's voice was soft, comforting. You saved me. When you held me in the darkness, the core listened to your heart. It protected my light inside itself. He lifted the crystal to his chest, holding it close. You're alive, he breathed. You're still alive, Lyra. Yes, she whispered. As long as your heart remembers me, I exist. Darren wiped a tear from his eye and stepped back, giving Aaron space. Take your time, he said quietly. She deserves that. Aaron looked at the glowing crystal with a broken smile. I wanted to spend more time with you, he said softly. Show you our world. Show you the sky, the sea, the sunrise. Lyra's voice carried a small, warm laugh, so gentle it almost broke him again. I saw all of that in your memories. Aaron paused. My memories? Yes, Lyra whispered. When the core connected with your heart, I saw everything inside you. Your joys, your sadness, your hopes, your fears. You showed me a life filled with meaning. You showed me a place to belong. Aaron felt tears roll down his cheeks. You didn't deserve to die, he whispered. Lyra's voice grew softer, like a fading melody. Not all endings are sad, Aaron. Some simply change shape. He clutched the crystal tighter. You're not an ending, Lyra. You're the best part of my story. A long silence followed, a warm silence, outside the tunnels. The wind began to blow through the broken passages, carrying fresh air inside. The night sky shone above them, full of stars, bright and peaceful. For the first time in hours, the world felt calm again. Darren finally spoke. Aaron, we should go. The town needs us. Everyone will want to know what happened. Aaron didn't move at first. He kept his eyes on the crystal. Will you stay with me? He whispered to Lyra. The crystal glowed brighter. Always, she whispered. I am light now. I cannot touch your hand or walk beside you, but I will follow you wherever you go. Aaron took a slow breath, painful but steadying. He wiped his tears, stood up, and placed the glowing crystal carefully around his neck using a cord Darren found in his bag. The crystal rested near Aaron's heart, exactly where Lyra's light now lived. Together, Aaron and Darren walked toward the tunnel exit. The night sky opened above them like a giant canvas of stars. The air was cold, but the light from Lyra's crystal kept Aaron warm. As they stepped into the town, people came outside in confusion. Lights flicked on. Doors opened. Families whispered to each other, pointing at the strange glow in the sky that had just disappeared. No one knew how close the world came to ending. No one knew a girl from another world saved them all. But Aaron knew, and as he looked up at the stars, Lyra's voice spoke again, quiet, emotional. The sky. It's beautiful. Thank you for letting me see it through your heart. Aaron felt tears in his eyes again. But this time they were not only tears of sadness, they were tears of love, of connection, of something powerful and unbroken. "Alira," he whispered, "I promise, I'll protect your light. I'll keep you alive. I won't let your story end." The crystal warmed softly. "Then I am not afraid anymore," she whispered. "As long as you walk forward, I shine." Aaron smiled, a small, emotional smile, and stepped into the future with the girl made of light resting against his heart. And though her body was gone, her voice, her soul, her hope lived on forever.